we never talk about this in the fan community. I feel like they don't get enough love. I'm definitely going to be doing like a bigger deep dive into these albums, but I wanted to start the conversation off today because let's talk about it. Like these albums contain a lot of gems that us Michael Jackson fans know and love, but we don't know what albums they're from. We don't know where they originated.
Yeah,
What are your thoughts?
a lot of them I thought were Jackson 5 songs. Honestly, I thought they were all like J5 songs because I always had like anthology cassette tapes, best of Jackson 5, Michael Jackson, and they throw songs from those solo albums in there. So
Right.
it'd be confusing. Like, this is not solo. This is solo Michael Jackson. What's going on? So it'd be cool
Yes.
to take a deep dive, a little dive into these albums.
Yeah, so let's just kind of start the conversation. I will say that I do want to go album by album and just tell you guys like some of the tracks that are in them that you might know and already love, and talk about what Michael shared in his autobiography Moonwalk, which I have here. Which you
All right.
guys know, this is like I know he didn't get as candid as people want to think, but if you look back, he does share a lot of gems about the creative process. So, all right, let's get into the first album, Got to Be There. So yes, Got to Be There. That came out in January 24th, 1972. Um, First song that we can talk about is Got to Be There, right? I
I
think we
believe
all
so.
know it.
Yep. That's another one that was like on an anthology tape. And that's how I think I first heard it, was with like a collection of best hits of Michael Jackson.
Yes. And I think for me, I had, and this is so funny, but back when we had our CD players, our CD Walkman, which makes me feel kind of old now.
Facts are facts. Yeah.
Our CD players. We had I had a CD compilation called Michael Jackson Love Songs. I think it came out in 2002 or 2001, and I actually used to listen to this, and they had a lot of these songs on there, and one of the tracks was Got to Be There. Now, I want to read just a little excerpt that I found to be really inspiring from Michael Jackson's autobiography about Got to Be There. In the fall of 1971, I cut my first solo record, Got to Be There. It was wonderful working on that record, and it became one of my favorites. It was Barry Gordy's idea that I should do a solo recording, and so I became one of the first people in a Motown group to really step out. Barry also said he thought I should record my own album. Years later, when I did, I realized he was right. Um, and then he later on says, we were on tour in 1972, the year Got to Be There became a big hit. One night, I said to our record manager, before I sing that song, let me go off stage and grab that little hat I wore for the picture on the album cover, which is right here. If the audience sees me wearing that hat, they'll go crazy. Then he talks about the fact that they did not let him do it. He wasn't allowed to do it because he was that young. And then he shares that later on he saw that Donny Osmond wore a similar hat and people were loving it. Michael Jackson had these instincts from way in the beginning. I mean, how old was he here? I can't, my math doesn't compute. 12, 13, around that age. So, yeah, it's just interesting to hear how he felt early on about taking control creatively in that way.
That's pretty cool. I didn't even know that was said in the book. I mean, I didn't read it. Sorry, guys. But I will read it one day. I promise.
You guys, read
I
Moonwalk,
know.
okay? You know what's so sad? Like, it's too bad that they don't have a audiobook, because I love Audible and audiobooks and all that. Like, it would have been so cool to hear Michael like speak
Oh,
into these experiences.
yeah. That would have been really cool if he did his own autobiography voiceover for that.
I know.
I'd listen to it. For
Yeah.
Sure.
Gone too soon. No pun intended. I will read to you guys some of the songs on that album. So some of the songs that I want to mention: "Ain't No Sunshine," which is a cover of the Bill Withers song. Another cover that he did, "You've Got a Friend," Carole King. He also did "Rockin' Robin," which I think a lot of us know, and my favorite on this entire album, "I Want to Be Where You Are."
Mhm.
So that is a song that I think all of us thought was like a Jackson 5 song.
Right. And then the background vocals, it sounds like his brother singing. So I really thought it was a Jackson 5 song. I didn't have a lot of Jackson 5 albums growing up, so that's why probably another reason why I was confused too. Is this J5? Is this solo? I never even knew there was solo Michael Jackson.
Yeah, and I think there's some merit to that because I was confused too watching the Jackson's American Dream. Again, like influenced by a biopic or a miniseries representation of someone's life, but like there's that famous scene where Joseph gives the mic to Michael after they've come off of this tumultuous plane ride and he was upset and he didn't want to go on stage and he said, "Wipe those tears. Do you know who you are? You're Michael Jackson." And then he goes on stage and he performs with his brothers to I Want to Be Where You Are.
Oh, yeah.
So like, how would we have known?
Right. I mean, the solo hits, he's performing with his brothers on stage. So again, just seems like it's a J5 song. But it's really cool to learn that, Barry Cordy not only believed in the group, but really believed in Michael. Said, get your solo stuff out. Start your career early. With
Right.
Solo.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. And then we can go into the next album, which is Ben. And I have my notes here, you guys, because again, like, it's so funny. We know all the track listings for all the other albums after, like, Off the Wall and after. But these are still kind of like murky. So you have Ben, which is the title track from the album and then also from the movie. And this, I believe Michael was Oscar nominated with this one. And let me just pull up my notes because I have another excerpt. You guys know I love to read excerpts. And Michael Jackson was really into film, so I think this is really important to mention. He says, in Moonwalk, which you guys should be getting, and I'm going to link it in the show notes, and also I'm going to include it as a shop now. You can buy it from any of your stores. Target, Walmart, Amazon. He says, my first real involvement with films came when I sang the title song for the movie. Join the MJ Fangirl Patreon for Patreon members-only exclusive content 3 times a month and access to the entire video library. Shout out to our platinum sponsor, Marlis. You are the best. He says, my first real involvement with films came when I sang the title song for the movie Ben in 1972. Ben meant a lot to me. Nothing had ever excited me as much as going to the studio to put my voice on film. I had a great time. Later, when the movie came out, I'd go to the theater and wait until the end when the credits would flash on and it would say, Ben, sung by Michael Jackson. I was really impressed by that. So I think it shows how much he loved this song too because of the fact that he continued to sing it on tour. Right?
With his brothers until, it was the last tour. Did he do it on the Triumph?
Triumph. I think Triumph was the last time that I've seen him do it live.
Okay. Right. And then the last tour they did together, Victory. I don't think Ben was in there, but still, he kept it going for a long time. And he would always say it's Academy Award nomination. He'd always mention that before he started singing it.
Yes. Oh, that gave me the chills because I'm thinking about the Jackson's live album.
Oh, yeah.
And that little speech that he gives ahead of time.
Tells the person on flute their name.
Yeah. Mike McKinney on bass, Jonathan Moffat on drums. I just grew up listening to that album over and over, wishing that I had seen the Triumph tour in person. So
our parents needed to get busy a little earlier. That's okay.
It's okay. Well, I think my dad went to this tour.
Yes.
Right? I think he went to Triumph, Victory, Bad, and the 30th anniversary in 2001.
Nice.
So
King of Pop.
Yeah, but I wasn't thought of yet. Anyway, so now I lost my train of thought.
The Ben album. So what are some of the hits on that?
Oh,
album?
yes. Well, let me finish telling you about Ben. He loved that song so much that he kept performing it. And I think to me, I love the performance that he did on the Triumph tour, the live version of that, more than the original. Oh. Just to hear that interpretation that he sang when he was in his later 20s.
Deeper voice.
Yeah. Later in he was, I think, probably, early 20s, I should say, not later 20s.
Yeah. Or late teens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool. He had the little glittery pants on, singing Ben.
Yes.
Years later.
So good. Okay, so let me just tell you some of the tracks on Ben, and comment down below, you guys, if you are loving any of these songs that we're talking about and you did not know much about them. So here we go. On the Ben album, Greatest Show on Earth, People Make the World Go Round, We've Got a Good Thing Going, My Girl, What Goes Around Comes Around, In Our Small Way, So
Right. I mean, My Girl definitely was another one that I saw on a best of. I heard that all the time. And what was the second song?
the second song, The Greatest Show on Earth,
Okay, the third one.
People Make the World Go Round.
That one I learned that song later, probably like in my 20s. I was like, oh, this is actually a kind of cool song. I like this. It was catchy. And again, it sounds like a Jackson 5 song, but I guess it's solo Michael.
Yeah. It's interesting how they like it's all about the branding, right? Like how they decide to like market the songs and the album. Like and we looked in the album, the credits and stuff, and they're not even credited as background vocals or anything. It says performer, Michael Jackson.
Right, on the Apple Music, yep.
Yeah. We can't speak to the actual albums because I don't believe I have any of these in CD format because we're from the CD era. We're millennials. We do have some records, but none with of these. So maybe we'll have to go record hunting soon.
Definitely.
So yeah. So let's get into the next album, which is I believe is Music and Me. Yes, Music and Me. So this album rather has With a Child's Heart, Music and Me, Morning Glow, Up Again, Happy, Too Young. My favorite song, I think, out of all of these Motown solo songs is probably With a Child's Heart.
Yeah, that's a dope song. I really like that one. That was a great performance too by him on that song. And I want to say tied with that for me is Music and Me because Moonwalker had that in there when the TV turned into a spaceship or a jet, whatever it turned into. I remember that song, and even back when I was a kid, I think I only ever knew that part of the song. I didn't know much of any other part of it. So later on, probably when things got streaming and digital, is when I actually heard the whole thing. YouTube.
Yeah. It's interesting, like how Michael incorporated it into like some later work, like you mentioned, like with Moonwalker. And for me, I remember it from the Legend Continues documentary. They shared he was going down like a water slide or something, and I don't know.
That's right. I do remember that.
Or was that Music and Me? I don't know. Music and Me and With a Child's Heart. It was like they both were in that documentary.
Right, when he was just like in his swimming trunks, it was like Thriller kind of era.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. And, when I listen to a lot of the songs on this album in particular, I get like this eerie, like it gives me a little bit of sadness because I'm like, okay, knowing like how he had like this child's heart and was so close to music. And I just feel like it is sad because we know like how many lows that Michael Jackson went through, so many highs, but also some of the lows. And like when I think of these songs, I don't know, it just brings me thinking about that and like how much music meant to him and how he had like this childlike way about him.
Yeah, it definitely. Child's Heart is pretty touching song. Same thing with Music and Me. So if you're in that mood where you feel like, ooh, I feel like I could get some emotional stuff going on here, then they'll hit you. They'll hit the emotion strings real quick.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's just quickly get into the last album, which is Forever Michael. And
my favorite one.
Is that yours?
Yeah, I actually know all the tracks on this one, so I can pitch in a little bit more for this.
Okay, so I'm going to read off some tracks. We're Almost There, Take Me Back, One Day in Your Life, Cinderella, Stay a While, We've Got Forever, Just a Little Bit of You, You Are There, Dapper Dan, I'll Come Home to You, Dear Michael.
I remember, I think I first discovered that late 2000s. I got I'm trying to remember what exactly I did. Maybe I did the tape or I got the CD and then connected a headphone jack to my tape player and played it in the car because I had an old 1997 Honda. And then I'd bump it all around the city and my buddies would come and I'd pick them up and they'd be listening to it too. And they know the songs, at least 2 or 3 of them. And whenever I sing it nowadays, they're like, oh yeah, I know that song.
That's so good. I'm a little jealous because back then I did not have any of friends that wanted to listen to Michael Jackson stuff with me. Whenever I would be like, oh, I want to hear Michael Jackson, everybody was just all into NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys, and that was the era. So that's cool that your friends were like down to listen to the whole like Forever a Michael album.
Yeah, and you never had a car either to drive a friend around and force him to listen to it like I did.
True. I was on the subway. MetroCard life.
Yep. New York girl right here.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just listening to everything in my personal headphones.
But
Which I think is why maybe I like started to feel like all close to Michael and the music because
you and him.
Yeah. It was just instead of music in me, it was just Michael and me.
Yeah, I definitely like most of the tracks on there are just bangers for sure. Like Almost There, We're Almost There. What's the first song again? Is that it?
Let's see. We're almost there. Yeah. Take Me Back. Here, yeah, you take the notes.
Where are we at?
Here.
Okay. We're Almost There. I love that. Take Me Back. One Day in Your Life is a little slower. I think he did it on the Soul Train. He did it like at a performance on Soul Train. That was really cool. Of course, it's lip sync, but whatever. Cinderella was cool. I remember Just a Little Bit of You. Right when he passed away, I turned this album on and I heard that song and it made me feel pretty sad because the lyric is just a little bit of you every day will surely keep the doctor away. You know? And we know. Michael passed away too early and that was a good emotional song.
Yeah.
It made me sad.
Oh.
I didn't cry. I don't cry.
Pulls the heartstrings a little bit. I definitely think we're going to be experiencing a lot of those moments, those emotional moments when these teasers and biopic stuff comes out.
Definitely going to get some goosebumps watching that.
Yeah.
Don't watch it before me. If you see it comes on, wait for me to get there so we can watch it together.
I don't know if I can promise that.
Oh, man. Okay, well, I'm going to watch it before I see you. Pretend like I didn't.
No, I'll wait for you. So I just want to let you guys know, if you're interested in this conversation about the first 4 albums, definitely go check out this Hello World compilation. This was released by Motown. I don't remember 2009 actually. When after the year that Michael had passed away, they released this book, and it has all of the original albums as well as some bonus tracks and some never before released masters. So if you're interested in Hello World, I don't know if it's still being published or printed rather, but you can just check it out on eBay or whatever.
Yeah.
It's CDs. So you might not need that. You could just go to Apple Music or Spotify. I forgot that people could just do that.
Is this available for streaming? I don't even know.
Hello World is not, I don't believe so. Not on Apple Music.
But all the tracks in there are available on their albums.
Exactly. Right? But if you want these unreleased masters and stuff, I mean, I really think that you should probably get the CD. But it's up to you if you even have a CD player out there.
Well, hey, desktop computers, you got one of those, you have to have a CD player.
Do they? I don't think they make it with the CD player anymore.
Mine has a CD player.
Okay.
But it's old.
So, yeah, we have our old ones.